Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm Kim, and this is Fortunate Creations. This morning, I'd like to do a WIP, a work in progress that I've been doing. So what I wanted to do was, as you can see over here, I keep going down all around. I have a lot of yarn, and I have a lot of yarn that there's not enough to make a full project with. There's not enough, to do one thing with. So what I wanted to do was use up some of my stash and create something, keep worthy. Keep worthy, is that a word? Anyway, so what I decided to do was a calendar blanket. Now, before I even Googled it or looked it up, I decided this is what I'm going to do. So I wanted to do the birthstones for each month, but some of it was a little difficult because April had like a diamond or a cubic zirconia, and how do you have a yarn that color? So I actually went and I Googled monthly colors. So although they were quite similar, I did come up with a silver for April. So we've got January, February, March, here's April, and I just started May. So not only am I doing a different color for each month, I'm actually doing a different stitch for each month as well. So I have a list of all the stitches that I'm doing. And let's see, so January is where you do a single and a double in each one. I know there's a name for it, but I can't remember it. That was the one I didn't write down. I was too excited to get the blanket started. And then February, I did a simple double crochet, but then I did a front post double as well. So give it a little bit of texture. I think that might be the better side. You can see it there. I made each section 6 inches. Because you can't do a number of rows on this because some of the yarn is different. So some of the stitches are different as well, so they take up extra room. So I did 6 inches on each one. And this one for March, I'm absolutely obsessed with this. I learned it from Crystal at Bag O' Day. She has so many tutorials. Actually, I learned all of these stitches from her. So I'll put a link to her down below. She's amazing. She literally taught me everything I know about crochet. So anyway, this is called the feather stitch. Totally obsessed. Like, I was sad when the time was over for this 6 inches because I wanted to keep going with it. And with me, normally I get bored from a stitch and I want to move on to something else. So anyway, feather stitch. And then this one here, this is April. What did I do for April? This is called the extended single crochet. Again, I learned it from Crystal at Bag O' Day. This one I got kind of bored with. I mean, it's super easy and it worked perfectly. You can, here, let me put my hook down. I just don't want to lose a stitch. So, I mean, it worked perfectly and it looks nice, but I got bored. And now for May, obviously the color is an emerald green, and the stitch I am doing is the Rocky Road stitch. Again, that's over at Crystal. If I can figure out how, I'll actually put a link to these tutorials from her on there. So that's what I'm working on right now, is my calendar blanket. And it kind of gave me an idea that I might want to do, you know how you can do a mother's ring or a grandmother's ring? I was thinking my siblings all have many grandchildren. I have my first one coming in March, but my siblings all have lots of them. I have 2 sisters and a brother. We were a bigger family, but now, as you get older, that's how the family goes. But anyway, so I was thinking I might do a grandparent's blanket for each one of them. I think that'd be neat. So it's going to take some research because there's so many grandchildren. I think each one of my sisters has like 13. So anyway, I'll have to get all of their birth months, get them all in a row. What I'll do is I'll do it in the ages of the grandchildren. So the first grandchild would be that month and this and that and that. So I think that'll be fun. Yeah, I've heard of a weather blanket, but I wasn't sure if I'd get into that one. I might do that one as well. That would be a nice yarn eater. So yeah, here, come here. Oh, this little one is actually, I take all my scraps and I roll them into balls, and little mister here likes to help mommy crochet, sort of. So he rolls the balls around the house, and then I get to pick them up. So he looks nice and innocent. But little mister here, this is Fritzy. Hi, everybody. Fritzy loves to get mommy's attention by snitching some yarn and running. I can always tell. I hear his little feet go tick, 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 tick. So I know he's up to something, aren't you? Hi, everybody. I don't like when mom crochets because she doesn't pay attention to me. So yeah, that's my work in progress right now. If you want to put in a comment below what you're working on, or maybe any suggestions of another yarn eater project, I was thinking that I might do up a bunch of granny stitches or granny squares. And then someday I might actually do a granny square blanket like the old-fashioned one my grandma had on her couch. The only thing that's holding me back from that is I really don't like sewing them together. So I'd rather create a project like this one that is already together where I don't, where I don't have to sew them together afterwards. Again, I'm still new at crocheting. I've only been crocheting for about a year, maybe a year and a half now. My daughter gave me a crochet set for Mother's Day in 2022. And I've just been working on, I just became obsessed and now I love it. So I have a list of all the stitches I want to learn, and this blanket here is actually helping me learn them. So yeah, I'm looking for 1 row repeat stitches, so it'll go good with the blanket. I don't want to have to, you know, do too many rows of one thing. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Thanks again for stopping by. Please give me a like down below, thumbs up if you would, and subscribe so maybe we can hang out again at another time and share what your work in progress is. Let me know what your whip is. I also have a Facebook page. You can find me at Fortunate Creations on Facebook. Yeah, and I will put a link to Crystal at Bag a Day Crochet because she taught me all of these. While I'm talking about people that have influenced me, I want to talk about Juan, the yarn addict. Now, I can't blame him for all of this yarn that I have over here, but it certainly doesn't help because he's so much fun. Like, he's just so much fun. And when he tells me about a yarn sale, of course, I have him up here on my iPad, and then I have the sale up here on my laptop. And the next thing I know, there's a big box coming from wherever the sale was, and I just love it. So the other day, Mr. Fortunate walks in. I was having a rough day, you know how that goes. And I'm sitting at the table, and all of a sudden he walks in with this big, huge package. And he goes, "I'm pretty sure I have a huge package of happiness for you." And he handed me a giant package of yarn from Mary Maxim. And sure enough, he was right. It was a giant package of happiness. And I think I will show you right now. Here was my yarn haul from Mary Maxim. Where is it? Hold still. I'm getting better at the camera, I promise. But there it is. There is my yarn haul from Mary Maxim. As you can imagine, it came in a nice big puffy box. And excuse my camera skills. I am learning. I will get better, I promise. So yeah. Anyway, Juan the Yarn Addict, thank you very much for telling me about the sales. And my goal is to fill this all up here. Let me see if I can show you. Fill this all up there. I want to put more shelves and have it go all the way up to the ceiling. So I know I have a lot of yarn. Did I say I have enough yarn? I will never say that. Did I say I have too much yarn? Never. Because you never know what I want to make. You never know what somebody's going to ask me to make. A lot of my friends, you know, they're going to a baby shower or this and that, and they ask me to make a blanket, or they ask me, you know, to make an outfit, or somebody's birthday's coming up. Can you make them a hat in the colors of a certain sports team or whatever? So I try to keep a variety of yarn on hand at all times. And that way I can be like, yes, I can make that. I go right in there and I grab the yarn and I start my project. It's very rare that I don't have something on my hook. Because when I don't, I feel like, you know, what can I make next? So I have a dry erase board on my refrigerator, and I write down as I watch my other YouTubers and they make things or they do a stitch, I write down what they're making. And then I have a list of what I want to do next. So yeah, good times, lots of yarn. And I live in upstate New York, so the weather's starting to get really bad. I'm looking out, I'm waiting for it to snow. The weather's starting cold and snow, and I'm not an outdoor person in the winter. I try, but not really. So it'll be a lot of crafting and a lot of crocheting. So All right. Again, sorry, 5 minutes ago I told you I was leaving, so I'm leaving now. Thanks again for stopping by. I hope you stop by again soon. I'm not going to edit out where I talk funny because I love to laugh at myself. So if you can't laugh at yourself, don't bother. So I love to laugh at myself. So anyway, thank you again for stopping by. I hope to see you. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hopefully we'll create a lot of things together. Have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.